Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Venus and today we are going through the books that I can't wait to read in the month of October. It is officially a spooky season. October is my birthday month and I am super excited to read a bunch of horror and creepy books this month. Let's just jump right into it. One of the books that I plan to read in the month of October is going to be my very first Clive Barker book, and it is the book that kind of inspired the Hellraiser movies, and now there's a series based on it, which I watched the trailer the other day and it looks pretty good, so I'm excited to check that out. But it is the Hellbound Heart. I was traumatized in my childhood because my mother was a huge horror fan and she watched all the scary movies, and I was supposed to be sleeping when she was watching them, but I wasn't. And so Hellraiser is definitely a movie series that sticks in my mind that I was terrified of. My daughter and I also created I'll post a picture of it on the screen. I created a 31 scary books, or 31 scary movies to watch in the month of October. Our plan is to watch one a day, and Hellraiser is on there. I have not seen that movie in years, and I'm curious to see if it holds that same scary creepiness to me and see how my daughter reacts to it, because I think is it from the 80s? She's probably gonna be like, what do you have me watching? But we'll see. So it is a novella, I think, or a short story, so I don't think it's too long. I have it borrowed from Libby, so I can't wait to check out that book in the month of October. The next book I hope to finish, because I did start reading this in September, is The Swan Song by Robert McCammon. And this book is so good. It's huge. It's like 900 pages. But it's reading very, very quickly, and I'm taking my time through it because his writing is so good. And the character work that he's doing so far is phenomenal. I am very invested in this story. It is, essentially it starts off with the President of the United States. I cannot remember the time frame of this. I think it takes place in the 80s maybe, but it starts off with the President of the United States having to make the decision of whether we are going to go to nuclear war with Russia, and essentially we end up doing that. So bombs have nuclear missiles have gone off all over the world, and there's different characters kind of placed in different parts of the United States so far is where this takes place. And you're kind of following them as they are dealing with this like major tragedy and this aftermath of these nuclear missiles. But then there's also, I'm thinking, because I didn't even read the back of it, I don't know too much about it, but I think, let me make sure I'm not spoiling anything. One second. Actually, I'm going to read the back of this because this is good. So, facing down an unprecedented malevolent enemy, the U.S. government responds with a nuclear attack. Soon America, as it was, is gone forever, and now every citizen, from the President of the United States to the homeless on the streets of New York City, will fight to stay alive. In a wasteland born of rage and fear, populated by monstrous creatures and marauding armies, Earth's last survivors are drawn into the final battle between good and evil, which will decide the fate of humanity. Sister, who discovers a strange and transformative glass artifact in the destroyed Manhattan streets. Joshua Hutchins, the pro wrestler who takes refuge from the nuclear fallout at a Nebraska gas station. And Swan, a young girl possessing special powers who travels alongside Josh to a Midwest town where healing and recovery can begin with her extraordinary gifts. But the ancient force behind the world's devastation is scouring the walking wounded for recruits to build its relentless army, beginning with Swan herself. It's so good. I really hope it keeps up the pace. I hope it ends up being a 5-star read for me because I am absolutely loving this book. But as you can see, it is a chunker and I am taking my time with it. So I already recommend it because the writing so far is fantastic. So another massive book that I want to read in October is I finally want to get to It by Stephen King. I've never read it. I've read a lot of his books, but I've always put it off because it's massive. And I doubt that I don't know if I'm going to get through this in the month of October. I'm going to start it. I'm going to take my time with it. I'll probably take breaks and read some of these other books depending on, you know, how the pacing is with it. But I'm really, really looking forward to it. I know that the character work in this book is great, as Stephen King is so well known for. And Pennywise, creepy clown. So, you know, can't get any better than that. I've seen the movies, which freaks me out. So I can't wait to actually read the book that they were based off of. And hopefully the book is, of course, better than the movies. So essentially this book is about a group of kids who are fighting this creepy Pennywise creature who lives in the sewers and kind of like gets into your dreams, and it's creepy and scary, and I think there's a bit of a coming of age story interweaved in this as well. So I am very excited to finally, I feel like this is going to be like a massive achievement once I finish this book. So I can't wait to finally read Stephen King's It. So these next two books I just randomly picked up at Target. Sometimes it's dangerous walking through the book section in Target. I honestly don't even know what they're about. They're both romance. This first one is called Not the Witch You Wed, and it is by, of course, Target sticker, April Asher. And this is about magicless witch Violet Maxwell wants nothing to do with alpha wolf shifter Lincoln Thorne. Oh, so we've got a couple different paranormal creatures happening in this. The man who broke her fragile teenage heart, but when the two of them are forced by arcane supernatural laws to find mates, Violet and Lincoln agree to fake dating trope, their way to fake mating in order to conjure themselves some time. So this is definitely going to be something that I grab in between kind of these darker books that I'm reading. Hopefully this is well written and a fun time, and I look forward to checking this out. The next book I was actually super excited to get. It's called Angelika, Frankenstein Makes Her Match, and this is by Sally Thorne, the author of The Hating Game, which is one of my favorite romance books. And I think this is a historic romance. Kind of a spin-off Frankenstein. Let me see. So it says, for generations, every Frankenstein has found his or her true love and equal, unlocking lifetimes of blissful wedded adventure. But clever, pretty, and slightly odd Angelika Frankenstein has run out of suitors, and she fears she may become the exception to this family rule. As she assists her brother Victor in his groundbreaking experiment to bring a reassembled man back to life, she embarks upon a side project that is all her own. When Angelika's handsome scientific miracle wakes up on the operating table, her wishes for an instant romantic connection are dashed. Her resurrected beau, named Will for the moment, has total amnesia and is solely focused on uncovering his true identity. So this sounds fun. Another quick, hopefully, read. Sally Thorne again did a fantastic job with The Hating Game. I absolutely loved it so much. So I'm hoping I love this one just as much. Next book is called Cackle by Rachel Harrison. I've heard really good reviews about this. I hear it's very atmospheric. It's not scary. Let me see what the inside says. All her life, Annie has played it nice and safe. After being unceremoniously dumped by her longtime boyfriend, Annie seeks a fresh start. She accepts a new teaching position and moves from Manhattan to a small village upstate. She's stunned by how perfect and picturesque the town is. The people are friendly and warm. Her new apartment is dreamy too, aside from the oddly persistent spider infestation. Ugh. Yikes. And then Annie meets Sophie, beautiful, charming, magnetic Sophie, who takes a special interest in Annie and wants to be her friend. More importantly, she wants Annie to stop apologizing and start living for herself. That's how she lives. Annie can't help but gravitate toward the self-possessed Sophie and starts to spend more and more time with her, despite the fact that the rest of the townsfolk seem a little afraid of her. Sophie's appearance is uncanny and ageless. Her mansion is in the middle of the woods, feels a little unearthly, and she does seem to wield a certain power, but couldn't be, could she? But she couldn't be, could she? So I don't know. Is there a witch in this? I'm not sure. So it says it's good to be wicked at the bottom. I don't know. Now that I'm reading that, I don't feel like I'm as excited, but I'll give it a try. If you read this, please let me know in the comments below. Is it worth my time for the month of October? The next book that I hope to get to is Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesare? Adam Cesare. And this is a slasher, young adult slasher. I mean, Clown in a Cornfield. What would spooky season be without, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Speaking of spiders, oh gosh, what is it called? What's this thing called? Oh god, what is it called? The neck, I can't think of the word. The thing you put around your neck to hold your camera, it kind of fell behind the lens a little bit and scared the shit out of me. I thought it was like something moving, so anyway, yeah, so what would spooky season be without a slasher? Of course, I cannot wait to read this. I feel like I've seen this on everybody's spooky TBR. There's also a second book to this that recently came out. So hopefully if I like this one, I will jump right into that. I do have it, I think, on hold at my library. I am using my library a lot more now, except for those 2 books I bought at Target. Let's not talk about that. Hopefully they'll be worth it. But yes, a lot of these are library books. Those are the books that I'm specifically hoping to read, definitely on my TBR. Anything could happen in the month of October. I could see someone else's TBR and get sucked into another book. Who knows? So wouldn't be surprised if you'll see different things on my wrap up. But that is what is planned so far for the month of October. I hope you guys have a wonderful spooky season, a wonderful Halloween. I cannot wait to discuss about all the fun books that you've read. You'll notice I don't have any fantasy books on my TBR this month, which is going to be, I think, the first month this year so far that I haven't read a fantasy book. So we'll see how that goes. I might throw one in, you never know. But let me know in the comments down below, what do you plan to read this spooky season, and what do you think I should add? Do you think I should take any of these away if you've read them? Interested to hear your thoughts as always. Thank you for stopping by, and please subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I appreciate every one of you so much. And also, I don't talk about it too much, but I am on Instagram, so check me out at Venus Escapes to Read on Instagram as well. I will see you guys again soon. See ya.